Hello, everybody. It is Friday, August 21st, and it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is so weird because normally we do it at 10, but at 10 o'clock this morning, I was in Amherst, Mass, having a great time with my daughter and my two granddaughters for the past couple of days. So that's where I was. But anyway, I wanted to get on a minute earlier. And if I have people in Facebook and YouTube who are with me, if you could pop on and let me know where you're coming from, just put FB or F or U, whatever, on your comment. Hey Beth, hi Beth. Where are you watching from? Can you tell me if it's YouTube or Facebook, please? Because I did talk to my people at Switcher, and hopefully we've got it figured out, I hope. Hey, Julie, how are you? Julie, could you tell me either where you're coming from, either Facebook or YouTube? I'm having problems. Well, I think it's all settled, but I'd like to know because last week I only had people on YouTube, and yet people were posting to the Facebook page, but it wasn't coming through on my feed. So if you can just let me know. YouTube. Okay. Caroline, good morning. You're on YouTube. Good afternoon, rather. You're on YouTube too. Okay. I'm hoping somebody from Facebook can post, please. This is the nervous part. I know YouTube was working, but the Facebook was a little bit tricky. YouTube. Oh, everybody's on YouTube so far. YouTube, Julie. Okay. I'm rooting. I'm hoping somebody is going to come on. Anyway, it's 4 o'clock, so let's get started and we'll see what happens. All right, here we go. First of all, I want to tell you today is the last day. If you're going to place an order with Stampin' Up! Today, you're going to get double your hostess benefits. So please take into consideration. That's a great deal. And also, if you place an order of $75 or more, you're eligible to get the product of the month, which is this absolutely beautiful. When I say it's beautiful, it's stunning paper. This paper is absolutely stunning. It's called Glow of Harvest. And let me just show you what these pieces are. I just got it yesterday, and it's like, oh my gosh. Look at how, oh wait a minute, let me pull this over so you can see. All right, here's one. Isn't that gorgeous? This is Cajun Craze, Golden Glow, Pecan Pie, Crumb Cake. And if you can see, it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. And this is one-sided paper. This is very thick paper. It's very similar to the paper that we're using today. But this is one of the patterns. It's stunning. And then look at this. This is all the leaves. Look at how beautiful these are. And the little acorns attached. Gorgeous. And you can see that little bit of a shimmer. It is stunning. It's like somebody ran Wink of Stella all over it. And look at this one. Look at how pretty this is. This looks like Queen Anne's lace or the remnants of a dandelion pod. Look at how beautiful that color is. It's just stunning. Okay, let's see if there's another one here. I'm getting nervous. I'm not getting anybody from YouTube. I mean from Facebook. Anyway, look at these leaves. Look at how pretty. Same color pattern, the crumb cake and pecan pie with that glimmer. It's absolutely gorgeous, this paper. Just gorgeous. And then here's some with the pumpkins. Beautiful. Just stunning. Okay, and then this is the last one. Look at how pretty that is. It's just gorgeous. So anyway, that promotion runs through, the end of the month. But if you want to take advantage of double points, today's the day to do it. Okay, so let's get started. These are the two cards that I put in my newsletter this week. This card is card number 8 in my Christmas in August series. And this card was designed by one of my favorite demonstrators, Amy Condors. She is just an incredible artist. She does beautiful, beautiful work. So this is what she came up with. And of course, I had to copy it. So there's that one. And then this one, I love this. This was created by Stamping with Erin. I don't know Erin's name. Stampingwitherin.com. She is in the United States. Amy, I forget where Amy is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But look at how cute this card is. And this is a spinner card. So I'm going to show you how to make both these cards today. So I'm going to start with the Christmas card. So let me just get this out of the way and bring in everything that we need for this. All right, so the first thing is we're going to use the basic beige cardstock, which is 8.5 by 4.5, and you know how we, score it at in the hat. Can I even speak? I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. We were doing a lot of talking, so it was a late night for all of us. But we had such a good time with my two granddaughters and my daughter. Anyway, here is the base of the card. And now, to that, I'm going to add 2 pieces of paper. First of all, this is going to be the piece from the paper that we used, which this one is called Neutral Noel. This is absolutely stunning paper as well. Again, it's the same kind of idea. I popped onto Facebook and make a comment. We can see you there, but I can't see the comments here. Oh, I apologize to all my Facebook. Thank you, Beth, for doing that. There's a whole bunch of people making comments. I'm back on YouTube. Beth, could you do me a huge gigunda favor and please go back to Facebook and make a comment and tell them that I once again am still having problems because I'm not seeing their comments here on my feed. I'm so sorry. I thought this was fixed and it's not, so I'll have to go back to my switcher people and get it fixed, but I can't do that now because it would mean hanging up, and I'm not going to do that, obviously. Thank you, Beth. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Anyway, this is the paper. Look at how beautiful this is. It's beautiful. It's stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, gosh, I could become a paper hoarder. Here's another pattern. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Here's another one. Look at this one. I mean, these could be just for any possible card you could imagine. Look at this with the trees. How beautiful that is. It's got that little soft gold glow to it. And then this one is all of the gold tones in a nice little pattern. Tiny little geometric pattern. And then look at this one with the leaves, the ferns, the furs, how beautiful that is. Anyway, that's what we're using. So this piece of paper is a piece that is 2 inches by 4. This is a 2 by 4 right here. And then this one is the one that's going to be 3 1/4 by 4. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this. This is using the basic beige cardstock. And it's also using this new softly woven 3D embossing folder. Now, I've told you before, but on this embossing, whenever you have an embossing folder that has a lot of depth to it and a lot of contour to it, such as this one, it's sometimes very difficult to put your cardstock in and run it through because sometimes the paper wants to stick to the embossing folder and sometimes it even tears it a little bit. So the trick is, and I know I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again, is to just take a piece of wax paper and rub the wax paper all over the surface, both sides, so that it really gets into all the little nooks and crannies. And then when you put your cardstock in and run it through your Stampin' Cut machine, it'll come out very nicely. So anyway, there is that piece. All right, so let's get these attached to the base of this card. I am so sorry that I can't see my Facebook people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Beth. I have no idea. Now I'm so sad. Oh, I was so excited thinking we had it solved, and now we don't. Okay, anyway, moving right along. Here we go. Here is this. Oops, I need to put some adhesive in here. All right, here's another refill. All right, so this is going to go on. Oops, let me add a little bit more here. Just a little bit there. All right, so now this is going to go on to the left side of the base, and I'm going to make sure that I get it so that it's almost right up to the end like that. And then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put this one on right close to it, like that. And look at that, how nice that matches. Beautiful. And I'm just going to press it down like this. Okay, perfect. Now, the next thing is I'm going to start the assembly. Now, there are a lot of parts to this. So, whoops, I just knocked down 3 of the branches. Whoop. Gosh sakes. I'm all frazzled now because I'm upset about the situation with my switcher feed on the Facebook page. Oh. Anyway, all right, let's start. So what I first need to do is place these, the greenery in, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on it like this. And I'm going to take one and I'm going to place it like about right here. Perfect. And then I'm going to take another one. Notice there are 2 different sizes. Actually, there are 3 different stamps that you can use, but these are the 2 that I used. So this one's going to come in, and I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive here. And I'm going to angle this down just about like that. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it over here. I wonder if maybe you could suggest, Beth, could you suggest if they have the ability to go to YouTube, they can check it out on YouTube? All right, so this one's going to go like this, like that. Then I'm going to take one more. I probably will take this one, yep. And actually, I think I'm going to use this one, yep. And I'm going to put this one down. And I am making sure that the little piece of adhesive in between the branches is going to be pretty clear, which it is. All right, so there's that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this twine. And if you get the suite has all of these products in it. It's just pretty amazing. So you just need to take this and the scissors and snip this off. I'm just measuring so that I can make a loop and another loop about like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a puddle right here. And I'm going to puddle it a little bit on this leaf too so that I can make sure that this gets stuck nicely. And then I'm just going to simply bring this in and lay it down like this. Press, press, press. Make a little loop right here like this. Press, press, press. And then come back and do this one like that. I may end up trimming some of that off in a minute. We'll see. All right, so there's that. Now, the next thing I shall do is I'm going to take these little tiny branches. They're tiny, teensy, 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 teensy. And to this, I'm going to take my, look at how cute this little Tombow holder is. My friend Tina Stracqualusi made these for me on her 3D printer. I have a few for sale. Tina has a bunch of them, of course, and she's also making really cute holders for the hot foil dies and also our regular dies, and the cutest little wastebasket. Anyway, I'll talk more about that later when I get my wastebasket. All right, so I'm going to put this little, I get sidetracked very easily. So I'm going to put this little branch right here like that. Press that down like that. Then the next one I'm going to put over on the left side, my left, a little bit of adhesive here. The good thing about this is you don't have to use a ton of adhesive because everything gets stuck on top of everything else. So it kind of secures it quite nicely. So I'm going to put this in just like this. There. Now, the next thing is, look at these little tiny berries. Now, these little tiny berries, it's two different stamps. You've got one that stamps 2 of the berries and one that stamps 1. And I'm going to tell you, it is a little bit of a fun thing to sit and either fussy cut these out or use the dies to cut them out. So these I use the dies, but the other, actually, I took my Crop-A-Dile. Remember our Crop-A-Diles that we had? I took my Crop-A-Dile and punched the single ones out, which worked very nicely. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them secured. And in order to do that, I'm going to use some tiny little dimensionals, which I must have knocked those off too because they're not here. What the heck? I reached over. Anyway, here they are. All right, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to put I'm going to put 1 on each. You don't need 2. It's going to stick very nicely. And there are a bunch of them. So let's do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need 4 or 5. There's another one, and here's another one. And here we go, like this. Thank you. They can see you and hear you, so I think they know. Don't be frazzled. We are here and watching. Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much for doing that. Oh, so upsetting. I try really hard to be a good person with my computer, and I think I'm doing fine, and I'm not. Anyway, okay, fine. All right, I'm not frazzled anymore. Onward, upward. Here we go. All right, so here are my little berries that I'm putting on, and I'm making sure that I get it so the berries are sticking just right off the very edge of the stem, because I've got it on a dimensional, so I want to make sure it fits nicely. So there's going to be that one, and here's this one. Oh, this one, see, I put it too close to the edge, so let me see if I can take that off real quickly. I can. This part's working fine. All right, so this is here. So, and here's one more right here like this. like that. Look at how cute those are. And then I'm going to take my little snipperinis and I'm going to cut some of these in half, even the small ones in half, because I need to put them on these single ones. Let's see. Oh, all right, never mind. We'll use these scissors. I can't get to my other ones for some odd reason. All right, these are going to be cut in half like that. And I'm going to take these. Now, I know this is tedious, not to worry. We'll help each other out on Monday and Tuesday making these cards because they're so beautiful. All right, here's one. Actually, you know what I'm going to do with these on second thought? I'm just going to put a little bit of Tombow right here and have these flat. This will be a lot easier, actually. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. So let me add one little dot here, and a tiny little dot, not a big one, a tiny one. Tiny as you can get. All right, there's that. And then let me get this. Here's another one. I'm going to put that on, just let it gently rip. Perfect. Here we go. Here's another one. These kind of flew all over the place when I was cutting them out, but that happens. Let me take my little tool here and see if I can get this off. There we go. Perfect. This is the only little tedious part, but it does make a difference. It really does. They're really pretty. All right, and here's one more right here. Okay, perfect. All right, so there's that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my houses. I went ahead and stamped my houses in pecan pie, again, on the basic beige cardstock. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at how pretty that is. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them onto this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one here, and I'm just going to kind of cover the bottom part of that stem. And I am going to use dimensionals on this. So we're going to put probably 4 on here. And I'm going to do this one like this. Perfect. Okay. So let's bring this one in. I'll put my little supplies. Wait till you see the cute little trash can that Tina is making. I'm telling you, it's so adorable. All right, so this is going to go on like this. And one of the other nice things about this embossing folder, because this grid is an east, west, north, south grid, you can line up your tree according to those lines. Easy, easy, easy. All right, now this one is going to go on top of it just like that. However, I want to make sure that it rests on top of this house, so I only need to put a little bit of adhesive here and then 1 or 2 glue dots on this side, dimensionals rather, on this side. So there's one, and let me put another one down here, and then I'm just going to put, whoops, let me get these little pieces of the dimensional off my silicone pad, and then I'm going to add some adhesive right here. And then I'm going to take this little piece off like this. There we go. Now this one's going to come on just like this. And that's going to just stay just like that. And that looks pretty good to me. Look at that. How cute is that? Then the next thing is the house has a wreath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of my Tombow on here like this. And I'm going to place my wreath here, like that. Tap, tap, tap. Whoops, I got a little bit of an error here with, oh, and I forgot my baby wipes. Hold, please. Let me get my baby wipes. They're right here. Hold, please. There we go. There's just a little bit of an ooze, and I don't want that ooze to dry because it will dry tacky, and then it won't close in the, oh, it will definitely close in the envelope, but then it probably won't open. So let's get that right out. See how easy that is? Just like that. Perfect. Okay, then the next thing I need to do is get this cute little deer. Look at this little tiny reindeer right here peering in to the house saying, what's going on in that house at this festive time of the year? All right, so there's my little deer, and he's going to get right on just like this. I'm going to put him down just like this. Perfect. Look at how cute that is. Then the next thing I shall do before I forget, I want to take my dark and my light and crumb cake and my light gray granite, and I'm just going to add just a little bit more color to these berries, just a little bit. Just a little, just a tad, just to give it a little bit more color. And of course we have to do some winky on these too. There's a little bit there. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the gray granite just to give it a little bit of contrast. Like that. Like that. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now I'm going to take a piece of Mossy Meadow cardstock. And as you remember probably from the sample, it has the message Season's Greetings on it. So let me get this in. Let me take this. I'm going to powder this up. Powder, powder, powder. Ta-da. Then I'm going to take my message, which says Season's Greetings, and I'm going to add it to the Mossy Meadow, just like this. Season's Greetings, just like this. Perfect. Hold, hold, hold. Lift it up. Move this out of the way. Put the cover on this. Did I ever tell you one time when I first started, I had my Versamark really close to the heat tool, and I didn't have the heat. I didn't have the cover on it, and I was heating up whatever the project was, and I heated it such to the point that the Versamark got all heated as well. So I had to get a new Versamark. So the lesson is make sure that you don't have the cover, that you do have the cover on. All right, let me get this heated up. Takes this minute or two. My heat tool is cold, so. It's starting. Here we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And now to this, I'm going to add some dimensionals because we're going to put it on with dimensionals. And I absolutely have a big piece right here. I keep hitting this over here, which is not good at all. All right, so I'm going to take this. Whoops. And that came off in one fell swoop. All right, I'm going to cut this in half, or cut 2/3 of it off, actually. This will be a nice piece to put on here, right here, like this, the edges. All right, so this is going to come off, and then this is going to come over here. Now I'm going to bring this in. Look at how pretty that looks. Now, I want to put it so that I can cover up this little puddle that you can see some of it, all right? Yes, Julie, I know, it's so magical. I get it. I love it. I'm going to put it in like this so that it covers that up because obviously I don't want anything to stick to that. And I'm going to put it so that it comes right down by that reindeer's foot, those little feet like this. And there we go. There's that. Tap, 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 tap. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these beautiful matted gold adhesive back dots, and I'm going to add a few. Let's see. 3 is a good number, so let's go with 3. So I'm going to put one over here. Let's see. I'll put it like right about here. Then I'm going to put one on this beautiful paper right about down here. And then I'm going to put one more. I think I'll put it on this side over here, like maybe right about, I think about here is good. Okay, now, of course, we have to have some winky. We have to have some winky. It's just the way it goes. Where's my winky? Right here. So I'm going to wink up these leaves. Actually, I could have done these before I put them on, which sometimes I do. The wreath has to get winked. Of course, I think the house has to get winked too, because let's pretend that it's nighttime and the street lights are showing us how beautiful this actually house is with this little bit of shimmer to it like this. And of course, the deer has to have some color to him as well, or she. It's a doe, can be a doe. Doe, a deer, a female. Okay, I'll stick to the crafting instead of the singing. All right, here we go. Where do you see what I'm going to show you a trick with the other card. I just thought of that right now. My mind goes in a million directions at once. But anyway, here I am still coloring with my Winky, and there you have it. But isn't that a beautiful card? Now, of course, the inside has to be developed as well. And so I've got a piece of white cardstock right, where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Did I knock it over? I could have knocked it right over. Wait a minute. Oops. Oh, here it is. Wait. Oh my gosh. I don't know where it is. All right. Well, you know what? What I would have done on the inside was to take this message that says from our home to yours. Here, it's right here. It's a really pretty font. It says from our home to yours. I don't think you can see that. But yeah, there you go. But that's the one. But I can't find the white layer for the inside. When I moved everything with this, when I dropped those leaves, I must have dropped it. But I also wanted to say, I had a little bit of a concern here that the wreath didn't have any color to it. So I'm going to just take this is old, I love it. I'm just going to take this, this is the Pearlized Crystal Effects red, and I'm just going to put a puddle on my silicone pad, and then I'm going to take my trusty old dental tool, that my dentist gave when she didn't need it anymore. And I'm just going to add a little bit. Let's see. Let me bring this in. I'm just going to add like some little berries here. There's one. And here's two. I'm just using a little tiny bit because, you know, proportionately, I don't want to have big berries on here because that wouldn't look right, correct? But how's that looking? I think this is kind of nice. Little extra, just a little bit of extra color. I mean, you can decide if you want color or not. You don't have to. This will dry and it'll dry nice and shiny. But there's that, okay? So let me get this out of the way. And in doing that, I'm going to take my baby wipe and just wipe this off because that's one of the beauties of our silicone pads. And I'm going to wipe that off from my little dental tool here. Put that back. All right, so that's done. And then on the inside, as I said, I would have stamped this leaf, and I will do it on the envelope. But isn't this a stunning card? I mean, this is just something so beautiful. I just can't even tell you how much I love this card. I love so many of the things that Amy does. She's very, very creative and very talented, and I just love all of her work. So there we go. So there is the beautiful leaf for this. How's that? And there is the card itself. Why is that? Why is this? Why are we having trouble here with the zooming in and zooming out? I have no idea. It's just beyond me. Anyway, there is that card. Isn't that stunning? It's just so pretty. I absolutely love it, and I hope you do too. We'll be making those next week. Okay, so now let's get to this card. Now, this is a card that, as I said, stampingwitherin.com. That's her website. If you go, she'll show you this. But look at how cute. This is made with a spinner. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? So I'm going to show you how to do this, and I've got a trick for you. I've been waiting to show you this for a couple of days now, so let me just show you. As you can see, the base of this card is cut out with the Everyday Arches set. So you're going to cut one out, excuse me, in white cardstock, and then you're going to cut the cardstock itself out in black. Now, when you do that on your, excuse me, on your Stampin' Cut machine, you want to make sure that this side, you see the stitch side right here, you're going to use the largest and the second largest die. And the largest die has to come off the edge of this paper, because if you put it on the edge, it's going to cut it, and you're going to have two pieces of black. So what you need is to put that die on the outside of the paper so that it only starts cutting at about here. And then when you take it out of the machine, then you've got a card base like that, okay? So then you need another piece of white for the front. So here's the piece for the white, a piece of white. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. I'm going to take this. This is so much fun. Wait till you see. I'm going to bring in just another piece of paper. I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape and I'm going to use Pumpkin Pie. So let me get my Gorgeous Grape and Pumpkin Pie brushes and my Gorgeous Grape and Pumpkin Pie inks. Bring these in. And as you know, what we're first going to do is just add a ton of color to this. And I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to start on my grid paper, and I'm just going to bring it in and make it look really spooky and fun, like this. And in this situation, I'm going back and forth. I'm not really, I'm not really caring how it's going to look because it's supposed to be spooky and ethereal. Well, I don't know if that's, is that an oxymoron, ethereal and spooky at the same time? Anyway, there is this. I'm satisfied with that, so I'm going to take this and put this away. And then I'm going to take the same with the pumpkin pie. And here is my pumpkin pie brush. And we're going to just add a lot of orange. Orange, pumpkin pie, pumpkin pie. Look at that. Okay. Now, this is the trick I've been waiting to show you. And again, this came from stampingwitherin.com. Oh my gosh. I use tons and tons and tons of Wink of Stella. I tell you this all the time. I go through so many of them, but Erin came up with this magical, wonderful, fun thing to do. So what you're going to do is when you come to class, I'm going to give you an acrylic block. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a container of glycerin. This is 100% vegetable glycerin to be used for crafting only. And I am going to add 2 drops, 2, not 3, not 1, but 2 drops to the center. There goes 1, and 1 more. 2. Okay, 2. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a bottle of alcohol. And I'm going to have you put in 1 drop, maybe 2. Let's see. It's a little bit harder to get these drops out, but there's 1. And there's 2. Okay, that's it. Perfect. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your Wink of Stella and you're going to squirt about, let's see, I'm going to squirt on the push signs here. I'm going to, oh, you can't really see. Let me do it this way. So I'm going to squirt that much, that's all, no more. So that was like 3. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and either take a toothpick or whatever, and I'm just going to mix this all up. I've got my little dental thing right here. All right. Now, I'm going to mix that Wink of Stella, the alcohol, and the glycerin all together like this. Perfect. This is so much fun. Then I'm going to take a little tiny sponge, and I mean a little tiny sponge. When I first tried it, I used a cotton ball, and the cotton ball absorbed too much of this liquid on my little pad right here. You can see the chemistry going on. That alcohol is mixing with that Wink of Stella and that glycerin. But anyway, you want a small, small surface because you don't want it to be absorbed completely into whatever you're using, like a cotton ball or a sponge. So a little tiny thing like this. And I'm just going to dip, and then I'm going to dip. Dab, 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 dab. Isn't this wicked fun? It's so exciting what happens. So you're going to use this on this surface like this. Dab, 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 dab. Look at that. And so not only have you used Wink of Stella, glycerin, and alcohol to give this effect. Wait till I put it up to the light. Look at that. All right, so now I can move this out of the way and look, 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 look. Can you see that? Look at that. That whole glimmer, can you see? The whole thing is covered. It's just shiny, 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 like you've covered the whole thing with Wink of Stella. Wait, there's a little spot right there I just saw. All right. So the smaller this little container, this applicator, the more you're going to get onto your surface. But now you have to let this dry. And yes, it does take a little while to dry. So when you come to class, we're going to do this first. We're going to set them aside. Now I've got one over here that's already done. Here it is right here. And what I did was I went ahead and adhered it to the front of my card. So there is that. Easy peasy, easy peasy. All right, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the assembly part. And this is so much fun. It's easy and this is fast. All right, so let me bring in my little bats and my little sign. Here we go. and my moon. Oh, I got to do the moon first. The moon. Here's my bats. 3 little ones and 1 big one and the tree. All right, now I am going to take Daffodil Delight and Flirty Flamingo right here. And let me just, I should have had my little piece of paper. Let me bring this back in for a second. I'm just going to color this like this. All right. A little bit of Flirty. And a little bit of Daffodil. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Whew. I love it. Fun, fun, fun. All right, let me move these out of the way. All right, get my inky fingers out of the way. There we go. Here is this. Oh, wicked. I know, Beth. It is wicked cool. All right, so then I'm going to take my tree. That's the first thing I'm going to take. And I'm going to apply my tree. I am going to use Tombow. I really love Tombow. I love all of our adhesives, but boy, this has great application. It's easy, and it's got, you know, it's a really good glue. It doesn't have a lot of water content in it, which is the thing that makes glue really sticky. If you don't have a lot of water content, it works very nicely for our projects especially. So there's that. And this is going to go on like this. Just like this. Up a little bit. I can put it up. And then tap, tap, tap. And sometimes it takes, you know, if you don't have a ton of adhesive on, which I don't, but that's okay. You don't really need it. But sometimes you just have to hold it down with your hand. All right, there's that. Then I'm going to put my moon on. And the moon I am going to put on with some dimensionals. There's 1 and 2. These are the little ones, so there we go. I could have used 2 big ones, but I just happen to have the little ones in front of me. So here's this. Okay, wait a minute. What's this sticking up here? That's sticking to there. There we go. Okay, so this is going to go on like this. Like that. Cool. It may be like that. And then I'm going to take 1 bat. And this bat is going to go on with some Tombow. Let me hold this little bat with my tweezers. Yeah, it's wicked cool. This process is just so cute. That is, I mean, and I was so excited to see what Erin had done with the, oh, wait a minute, his poor little eyes aren't popped out. Did you see that? Actually, let me take them off here and hold it like this. This didn't, there we go, like that. Perfect. All right, so now let's put this little guy on like this. Okay, next thing is my little trick or treat, and I need my adhesive. And where's my silicone pad? Here it is here. Because I don't like to get adhesive on my graph paper. All right, this is going to go on, and this is going to cover the base like this, just like this. And I'm using the dots to align it perfectly. So there's that. And now let's get this little spinner on. Okay, so here are the spinners. I got these on Amazon. They come like this. They're silver. I think they could be gold. It really doesn't matter which you have. But I'm going to put, and in the container that you get, I forget how many you get in the bag, but you also get the glue dots that go with it. And I think these are a little bit thicker than our glue dots, probably because they need to be, I don't know, but since they came with it, this is what I'm going to use. So this is going to go on here like this. Okay. And then you're going to peel this off. It's very gluey. And then I'm going to take my little bat. And wait a minute, hold on. I just want to make sure that I've got this right. Yeah, the bat goes on this part. So I have to put this on. I'm going to put this on like right here. And then I'm going to put another one on here. Like that. And lift this off. And then here's my bat. Now, before I do that, I'm going to put eyeballs on my bat. So I'm going to put one eyeball right here. I'm using my white craft pen, whatever it's called. I forget. We sell these. I forget what they're called. But anyway, there are the eyeballs. And then I'm going to put this on, and I'm just going to make sure that I've got him on the right way. Perfect. Press him down, and look at look at that. I love it. I just love it. I think it's so cute. Look at how cute that is. It's just adorable. And then, of course, I've got two more bats. Not to not give them. We have to give them just as much attention as we do the one who's flying around. But these two have already landed. They've probably got a mouthful of mosquitoes, which is a good thing because that's what bats do. So let's put this one in. Let me just take this off. The little eyeball stuck. I don't know if, oh, you can't see that. There we go. That eyeball stuck. So let's get rid of that. And I'm going to put this one in like right here. Yeah, like right here. Look at that. And then one more. I'll make sure these eyeballs are all poked out as well. Poke out, poke out. There we go. And then a little bit more Tombow. There we go. And to all my Facebook friends, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You have no idea how upsetting this is to me. Anyway, all right, so this one's going to go like that. Like such. All right, and of course it has to have some winky. Definitely have to have some winky. So the bats need to be colored and shiny, as does the moon, Mr. Moon. Good night, Mr. Moon. That's a great book. There we go. There we go. And probably a little bit of the tree, if not the whole tree. Whoa, that Wink of Stella is coming out fast. What did I do here? Did I squeeze it too much? Doesn't matter. There we go. This has to dry a little bit more. There we go. How cute is this? And thank you, Erin, for sharing this technique with the glue. Oh, I should tell you, I don't think Erin used alcohol. She just used the glycerin and the Wink of 2 squirts of Wink of Stella, but I decided to add the alcohol in because I wanted it to thin out a little bit more, and I think it worked very nicely. So I'm sorry about you having to see my head. There we go. That's better. Okay. So there we go with that. How cute is that? And there we have it. Now the inside I will decorate with a message as well, but look at how cute that is. Isn't that cute? Isn't that a cute card? And spinners can be used for so many different things. Adorable. I love it. I'm like back in kindergarten, folks. So anyway, these are the projects that we're going to do next week, Monday and Tuesday in my class. And I hope that you've enjoyed them. Here's the Christmas card, and here is the Halloween card. So there we go. There we have it. So that is the story. Now, I do want to remind you that today is the last day to take advantage of the double hostess benefits that you get. If you place an order in of $75, oh, it doesn't matter. As long as it's a $20 order, you're going to get double benefits. But if you place a $75 order, and then you can order that paper for an extra $5, which I have to tell you, it's stunning. I saw a glorious card that we are going to be making using that paper. So anyway, that's the story there, my friends. So thank you very much for popping in my Facebook friends. I'm glad you can hear me. I'm sorry I couldn't see your comments. I will get this figured out with my switcher buddies. Hopefully we'll get it figured out, and we will talk, we'll make sure next week, come something on high water, I will get it fixed for you. Okay? Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a lovely week, and I'll see you next Friday. Namaste, my friends. Bye.